Galindo, and we are at O Gallery here. First off, I want to thank Sunny Bag for this opportunity, and happy 10th anniversary, yay! Tonight we're here, we're so happy to be the pre-show to the actual art crawl, and we're at O Gallery, and we're here to have a conversation on Black male identity. We curated this show about a week ago with artist Sage Gallon, and the show came about due to the current climate with brutality and specifically towards our Black and brothers and sisters. Sage is an artist whom I met through a different artist. Her name is Karen Bison at the Lost Warhols, and she introduced me to the Black empowerment movement, and not only towards Black but towards everybody. And we seek to bring forth this message tonight and through the art. So this is one of Sage's first pieces, well, the first in the exhibit tonight, and it has to do with tribalism. As you can see, the skull, and his genre is figurative impressionism, and Sage tells us that he loves when people touch the art. I'm not going to touch the art, but the owner. He wants people to feel the tension between the colors and the different strokes. As you can see, a lot of the strokes have different colors. And we start here because in the history of Black art and Black imagery, as we go back, we start at tribalism. And this is one of the images. The image is obscure. There's only a face. Yes. I love his use of colors and brush strokes. It's a beautiful piece. At the end, we'll share a link to the catalog. And from here, from tribalism, we jump to another piece. It's called Change of Heart. And Sage will tell us that in this piece, he is looking to inspire people to change the way that they see Black males, Black people of color. And here you see the stairs, and this is our trajectory as human beings into that. As you can see, the use of red, drip, and splash as symbolism of the struggle, the words, and the image. If you go back to Black art in Basquiat, you would see images almost omnious with no faces or with a tribal connotation to them. And I feel in the trajectory of this art and curation of it, we've gone from omnious to actually giving it character, and now moving to the next piece, we see a clear face and personality to the art. And this particular piece is a tension between male and female relationship. Also, the face is one of almost Marilyn Monroe. We see a lot of that in current music, like Nicki Minaj. Oh, cool. Nicki Minaj and different artists, Beyonce. Hi, Sage.
Hey guys, how are you?
Sage is joining us now, the artist.
Hi guys, I hope you guys are enjoying. Thank you guys. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be a part of the art crawl, the Venice art crawl. I am super stoked. I'm sorry I'm not there with you. I'm in Arizona visiting family, but I'm going to let you continue, Stephen. I'm not going to interrupt you. You're doing such a great job.
Thank you. And so here we have between the male and female dynamics. Moving on to the next piece. We have a Black male. And here, with the rest of the curation, which we don't have here tonight, I see a use of color in the blonde hair. We discuss the identity, not identity crisis, but the identity that a lot of Black males or people of color sometimes believe or take under using blonde hair or taking on this to identify, to assimilate, and also to avoid being labeled as perhaps a thug or a threat. Do you have anything to add, Sage?
Well, yeah, it speaks to how people of color, exactly what you just said, have to navigate in many respects. Particularly, I think, being an African American male, knowing firsthand how people have reacted to me without knowing who I was as a human being. And this piece, it represents kind of the duality of the, not the tribalism, but the ancestral heritage, juxtaposed to the contemporary way in which we have to function in a world which at times has been hostile to us, and just navigating through those two experiences and how it can kind of quantify as schizophrenic at times. And so the sullenness in his eyes, the determination of his lips, the strength of his chest, and the chaos of the background, and for me speaks to that dichotomy, which a lot of people of color have to navigate through on a daily basis. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's it.
And from here, this was one of your earlier pieces. When did you create this
Yeah.
piece?
Well, I reemerged, or I restarted painting in 2014. I think that's done. I think I did that, or I don't know. I think I did that like 2015, 2000, early 2015. That
Beautiful.
particular piece. Thank you.
And then moving on to the next piece, which we call Black Boy Magic in 2020. I feel like this is a beautiful piece to end with because as we are now in 2020, we battle with that same question of when, there was I'll tell you the story of somebody who came in and saw this painting and he himself was black. And he asked, he's like, I see so many people within this, which is what the movement is about equality. And if you see this painting, you can see different colors of different flesh. It is called Black Boy Magic, but within this piece is many people, a dualism that we are all human and all the same.
Yeah.
And I talk about the using pigment, our invitation to the last creation was just one face in yellow. But as we add different pigments to different art, like here, whether it be black, then you feel a different way, and versus when it has different colors. And which is how I feel personally about the movement and ethnicity and equality. It is the connotation that we give it. And I welcome everybody, this curation, to invite Black artists into your home to drive the conversation of equality and the movement. And you can do that with one of these pieces.
Yeah.
Sage, tell us a little bit more about yourself and who you are and your art.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity, first of all, Stephen and O Gallery. I love you guys. Thank you again to Venice Art Crawl. What you just said was so poignant to me because I think with my body of work, be it through my painting, my music videos, my short films, my photography, one thing that I find very important is drawing the line that links us, juxtaposed to the walls that separate us. I think we are all intrinsically connected, and I try to have that reflection in my work. I grew up in a commune in Northern California in the mid '70s, and so my life, my formative years were spent being raised by people from every walk of life. When we left that situation, when we left the commune, because it was a place called Synanon, we moved back to New York, where I was introduced to misogyny, I was introduced to racism, I was introduced to all of the things that we place to separate ourselves from each other. And I grew up as a square kid. I was an honor roll student, a prom king. But in my early 20s, I got one of the most profound gifts of my life, and that was a drug addiction that had me homeless. And really that enabled me to understand how connected we all are. and that everyone is valuable. So I try to reflect that in all of my work. Um, my first CD is called Naked Under My Clothes, and you can check that out on my YouTube channel, Sage Gallon. And the metaphor for that is that we put on all of these clothes, all of these outfits, to hide ourselves from others or to protect ourselves from others. But when we stand naked, we stand in confidence and in our authentic self. And again, I just hope that my work reflects that we're all connected, that we all have our vulnerabilities, our fears, our triumphs, our joys, and the things that we create to separate us are superficial. We're stronger together, and the combination of the textures, and I do want people to touch the work because there's texture there, like there's texture in each and every one of us. Um, you have the dichotomy of the chaos of the backgrounds and the figures themselves. And I think that's emblematic of the society in which we are living in right now. There's so many layers, colors that create the. I think I'm stuck. Really, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, you cut off a little.
Am I
But
still
thank
there?
you, Sage.
Oh,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
you joining us. I love you so
Oh,
much.
it's my
And
pleasure.
this
I love you guys
collection
too.
was meant to drive the conversation of identity and how we have the power to change the identity now. And we can do that by supporting Black artists. And I encourage you to look at different collections like the Soul of the Nation. And Antoine Sargent, who has a beautiful book called The Vanguards of Style, and he is a writer and curator. And we can.
And other artists like Jahazai Nambu, Yo-Yo Lander, Alistair. Um, there's just a plethora of people. Caviar. If you ever go, if you're on Instagram, there's a brother in New York named Caviar who's amazing. Um, Michael Hefka, who's one of my mentors and my idols. So yeah, and for me personally, I want to thank you all. All right, all
Sage.
right, all right, baby.